All right, everyone, here we are with another video with Invest for Tomorrow, and we're going to talk about Sklz, Skillz Inc., and how it's ran up, and is it still an opportunity? Well, there's a lot of room here for this to continue to grow, but man, has it grown a little bit faster than what analysis ratings were last month, in the last couple of weeks, actually, in the last like 2 weeks, and how fast it's taken off from those points. Now, I also want to include how ARK Invest took their position towards the beginning of this year and how they actually upped it to this point. I mean, every day they weren't buying, but every other week or every other 3 to 4 days, they bought some positions, and we're going to look at that closely. So the first thing I want to look over is the fact of why is it up right now, right? From the 3rd to the 4th, and from the 4th to the 5th, all the way up from like $31 and even down here $28, all the way up to $43 and $45. Now, we need to look for a consolidation or a healthy pullback in the near future, but if it consolidates up here, it's going to be really hard for this to end up back down here unless it pulls back pretty fast, okay? And we'll have to see how this is going to react moving forward. But we're here to update every single investor and viewer on Skillz. And I mentioned it when I noticed that ARK Invest took a position on it. So we're going to go back to the date that ARK Invest took a position on it. So we were talking about Nano Dimensions, right? We've been watching Nano Dimensions. They added it to ARKW. This is back to January 8th, right? Today is February 5th. It's almost a month now. This was the time that they doubled up their position, okay? They actually took a position a few days before that, and probably like a week or even a little bit longer, but not that far from this date. Now, I don't find that original PDF that I had on it, but I found this one. So a few days before, they had like 200,000 and they doubled up, and I did a video on it, how they doubled up on it. So here we are at 400,000, and let's look at how much they have now. So this is where they're at now, and not Nano Dimensions. I know it's highlighted because I use it when I do my Nano Dimensions videos, but here they are, and they have 1.3 million in total. Now, if you look at their initial investment, how much it was worth when they got it, and if they kept, averaging up from that point, I can imagine that they've already almost doubled their money or their total initial investment. And we're going to look at that in just a moment. So here is the time when they had a few, not too many just yet. They only had 500,000. They bought 200,000 a few days before that. And let's look at the time frame of the chart. So they started on the 8th. They bought around here at $21. And I think they bought a little bit before that, back around here towards the end of the year. And if they didn't get it towards the end of the year, it was on its way up. They bought some shares in the 20s range anyways, $21 to $22, right? So they started off with an average price of around $22. They kept loading up over time to this point, and now from 28 all the way to 43, I mean, their initial investment, and if they kept averaging up, they're probably at a total average price per share of anywhere from $24 to $26. So they've almost doubled their position, initial investment, from this point, and their position has actually went up by 3, right? From when I have that screenshot of 400,000 shares. But initially from the 200, they're up almost 7 times the total amount of shares that they initially started with. So very interesting, and I wanted to share that with you guys. They started on early after the merger, right? That Skillz went ahead and proceeded, and here we are seeing this run up. It's hanging out here at the 40s. Now we want to look for a healthy pullback or some consolidation, obviously, but let's talk about why this has been running. Well, yesterday an article was published, right, on MSN, I believe this is one of them, that they talked about how yesterday the deal happened, and then this is a fresh new article reiterating everything that happened yesterday going into today. Well, Skillz went ahead and it's going to partner up with the NFL. Okay? And why it matters? Well, the deal benefits both Skillz and the NFL. NFL fans will have the ability to follow their favorite sports on the Skillz platform, which will also help to reach new, younger audience that prefers interacting with sports on the go. And it's also a mobile gaming, right? So a lot of room here. Now, Skillz said that the deal will introduce hundreds of millions of NFL fans to its esports platform. It's going to be a big deal. Now, this is the second half of the article, right? And I found this very interesting. Skillz price action. That was yesterday. By that time, once this was all announced, Skillz shares were up 20% at $37.51 at last check Thursday. Well, today's Friday, and if we look at today's reaction, yeah, it was in the $37 mark, and here we are at $43. It took off. Now the question is, will it continue going into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week? This is definitely one to add to your watch list if you haven't already. And also, I'm here to tell you guys why things are growing and why there's so much room, right? Moving forward. Now, the second thing I want to talk about. So we talked about the article, and now I want to talk about one more thing apart from the ARK Invest, right? This is the second thing I want you guys to see. So, on the 19th, 15th, 12th, 11th of last month, I found this on MarketBeat, and this is updated as of today, right? 2/5/2021. They were all rated a buy, basically. Outperform. This is like even better than a buy. Equal weight, you know, Wells Fargo was trying to be conservative. All the price targets were close to 28, 2 were 27, and then 32, right? This was the highest one recently. Now, these were all basically mentioned from the 11th to the 19th. When we go and look at the chart from the 11th, which was $21, all the way up to the 19th, it was at 26. So this was around a range of $21 to $26 once these all happened. And look at where we're at now. And they were only saying an upside of about $3 to $2. And the highest was seen like 5 to 7, right? Up to 32. And it broke through all of that. And here we are at 43. So analysis ratings were actually initiated for the first time, right? This is the first time that they said their buying ratings. So I could see all of these upgrading their rating and reiterating everything that they've stated from here in January. So I'm looking forward to that in the near term. I don't think they've jumped on it just yet because they're trying to see how this consolidates or pulls back and how of a healthy growth this really was, or was this an exponential growth that will actually exponentially go back down, and that won't look so good for the chart and the stock overall. But I think that news with the NFL merging and doing that, you know, type of, it's not like a merger, but merging together to do business and doing that type of partnership, better said, is going to be a big deal for Skillz. We've talked about Skillz last month. I've actually tracked it a few times through ARK Invest, and the fact that ARK Invest kept on loading up on shares since their first purchase till now was a bold statement. I was watching it, and what I find the most interesting is that it's in the ARK W, next generation internet. And if you look at what the article was saying, right, the article was talking about reaching a younger audience that prefers interacting with sports on the go, right? A new reach. This is all next generation internet. Like, this is why it's here. And when we look at this whole entire list, these are the most disruptive stocks in their sectors, or at least one of the most. And they picked this one for a reason. So these are all from different sectors, and some of them are within the same sector, disrupting the overall market share and sector as a whole. And they just continue to load up on shares. Like, it's so interesting to me that it's on this list and Skillz is here. And I believe that they're going to wait for a healthy pullback and they're going to load up on more shares. And the fact that DraftKings has less shares than Skillz, that's a bold statement too. They feel much more bullish about Skillz than DraftKings. We're going to have to watch that carefully, but very interesting and explosive growth, very fast. Since that announcement, we need to see how this chart reacts, but is there upward potential beyond this? I believe so. We're going to have to see how things go moving forward. As always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community, and don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watch this video. Thank you guys so much, and let's make some money.